everybody, and welcome to another episode of Cinema Heroes. I'm Justin Speck.
I'm Jay Stu.
I'm Alex Thomas.
And today we're talking about Batman Bad Blood. Released in... Hold on, let me change our view here so we can all see it.
You got a slip cover?
There we go.
Yeah, I got a slip
Yeah,
cover.
I need a slip cover.
An embossed slip cover.
Damn, I need that slip cover. I want to get slip cover for all my DCAU movies, man. I do. They're all great slip covers, man.
The only reason I didn't have my slip cover on originally was because the credits are not on the slip cover. But
yeah.
But anyway, this was released in 2016, directed by Jay Oliva, written by J.M. DeMatteis. I don't know how you say his name. I messed that up last time too, probably. And starring Jason O'Mara, Yvonne Strahovski, which I thought was kind of cool. Stuart Allen, Sean Mayer, Morena Baccarin, two Firefly actors, Steve Blum, Gaius Charles, John DiMaggio, Ernie Hudson as Lucius Fox, which is pretty rad. James Garrett as Alfred Pennyworth, and Travis Willingham as the Heretic. This is of course the next episode, the next installment of the DC animated New 52 universe series of movies that Warner Brothers put out. And this one finds Batman missing, presumed dead, which I thought was kind of cool. I don't remember. So backing up a little bit, I hadn't seen this movie again. I watched when it first came out. I haven't watched it since. I kind of remember liking it. But I didn't remember anything of it other than Batman was missing. And so I forgot about this opening scene where it was him and Batwoman and he saves Batwoman's life and then the building blows up. I didn't remember any of that. I thought it kind of started with him just being missing and people wondering what happened. But what did you guys think the first time you saw this movie? Did you like it? Not like it?
I don't really care for it.
Yeah.
I don't hate it, but it's definitely not one that I revisit. And even watching it this last time, I thought that I was going to like it a little bit better. That did not occur.
Oh, that's right.
So
what about you, Alex?
Well, I'm on the opposite. I was going to say earlier, like, I'm probably going to be the one that's going to praise this movie because I really like this movie.
Yeah.
When I did the rewatch, while I did the watch for the whole universe, that was the first time I ever saw it. And after watching it, I text John like, "What don't you like about this movie?" Because I think it's pretty good. I enjoyed seeing all the Bat family together. I think I thought Batwoman was an okay character. I mean, I didn't care that much about her backstory or like that, but I thought she was fine. I love that Alfred got some stuff to do in this movie. Like, I mean, my main problems with it, we'll get to it later, is some the villains, all that stuff. I didn't really enjoy that stuff, but everything else with the Bat family, even Batman being missing, I enjoyed all that stuff too. Nightwing stepping up, I enjoyed all that stuff. I really did like it. I don't know. I feel like I'm in the minority because I know a lot of people don't like this movie. I think a lot of people feel more like John than I do.
Yeah. So. Well, I think I kind of agree with you, Alex. I remember liking this one, and I remember disliking Son of Batman, and I don't really remember how I felt about Batman versus Robin. And so rewatching those and realizing those were better than I remembered, I was curious about how my feelings on this movie were going to be. And I enjoyed it this time around. I still kind of like it. I am curious to hear what Stu's criticisms
Problems,
are. Yeah. And for sure the movie isn't perfect by any means.
No.
But like you said, I kind of enjoyed watching the Bat family. I liked Nightwing being in the Batman costume with the yellow symbol. And
I love that. I love that. Like he says the line, like, even when you're gone, I still can't get unkilled, can't escape you. Like, I love all that stuff.
Yeah. And I like, I did actually kind of like Batwoman in this. And like you said, you may not care about her backstory. And I liked that they at least gave her the backstory. I do think the weird thing is with Batwoman is like, she's not really part of the Bat family. So I don't really understand why she chose to be Batwoman, unless it was just, it's Gotham, and so you gotta choose something Bat related.
How I looked at it, I think they show another flashback when Batman saved her life for the first time, and she sees the Bat symbol symbol in the sky, so she probably got clicked in her head like, okay, that's what I need to do.
People are afraid of the Bat symbol.
Right.
Yeah, like, okay, I'll just don a Bat, costume.
That makes sense.
I love that it just goes in that thought that Batman is such a influence on the city that people just be willing to risk their lives and put on a costume just, for fun at this point. Like, because these people don't have to do this, but she wants to do it,
Right. What's also interesting to me, too, that, like, there's, obviously there's more than just Batman in Gotham. There's Robin, there's Batwoman, there's, Nightwing's in Bloodhaven, but he's, nearby, I guess. And yet, when Batman goes missing, criminals are like, sweet. And they start kind of like, they don't care about the police. It's Batman who they're afraid of, which I think is pretty cool.
But go ahead, Stu. I want to hear your criticism, because I like I said, I was watching the movie earlier today. I'm like, I'm about to rewatch it again because I really did enjoy it. I did. And I'm like, what does John not like about this movie? What really is it?
The pacing. It moves too fast earlier on in the movie.
And it slows down.
It slows down because it has to. But the pacing in the first half of the movie is because it's too much going on.
Yep.
You got 5 characters in this movie that have storylines that 3 of them are being introduced for the first time in this movie.
Yeah.
So Batman has his own storyline. Nightwing has his storyline. Batwoman has his storyline.
Damien got a little storyline there.
A little bit of a storyline, but his storyline is tied to Heretic. Heretic has his storyline.
Right.
And then Luke has his storyline. You got 5 storylines that you gotta establish quickly.
Yeah. 3
of them we're seeing for the first time. It's hard to care about any of them when you got to focus on so much. So that
I can understand
that kind of took me out of it. It took me out of it the first time I watched it, and it kind of took me out of it the last time I watched it for this podcast. I don't dislike any of the characters. I'm not crazy about Heretic.
He's probably my least favorite character.
Yeah. But I don't dislike any of the characters. I think the characters themselves are fine. It's way too much. For me, it's just way too much story in this movie. Because you got those 5 storylines, and they cram that into an hour and 12 minutes.
I can agree with you on that. I think that's probably one of the weakest parts of the movie is the storylines. Because like you said, they don't give us enough time to care about anything that's going on. They try, but it's just too much to follow. If, like I said, if the movie was about 2 hours long, then okay, it makes sense. But you only got not even 80 minutes, of time,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. What I would have done was I would have killed Batman in another movie, like killed him in a Justice League movie, kind of like how they did with Death of Superman. They ended that movie with the death of Superman.
Right.
And then started this movie out with Nightwing as Batman, which I thought is a great idea. I've always loved Dick as Batman. I loved it in the comics as well. So
he doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to.
Yeah, he doesn't want to do it.
I don't want to be in this thing.
The whole point was to not become Batman, and now he's kind of forced into it.
Has to do it,
which is a great idea. It's just that there's so much other stuff in the movie distracting from that really good idea that it's for me, it's just hard to care about it.
Sure. I can understand that. I mean, like you said, when you started saying like it's hard to care about any of the characters, that's true. Like I like Batwing and I even like Batwoman, but I don't really care about them that much, and if Batwing, I don't even know if Batwing ever does show up in another movie. Like if we never see Batwing again, I'd be like, all right.
I think so far we haven't seen him again.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't think he shows up again.
I don't think he does. I don't think Batwoman does either, though.
Or Batwoman. I mean, even at the end, we see Batgirl. None of these characters come back, which is for me was upsetting.
Man, oh my god, that made me so mad, man. Because thinking about they show her, they tease her as kind of like a post. I mean, it's before
the end of
it,
but yeah,
it's the end of the movie.
But they tease her, and then she never shows up ever again.
Yeah,
that pisses me off.
I wanted to talk to you guys about that because I know the next movie's Justice League versus Teen Titans, and I wondered if there was maybe like a Batgirl movie that they were planning or something, and it just never it got skipped
Nope.
over or something. Who knows?
No, I mean, it's funny. I think that what the next Batman movie is Batman Hush, right? That's the next one.
I think so.
Out of the Batman movies.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm kind of upset they didn't really focus on this. Like, it's good to see all these characters get introduced, but like, to John's point, I don't care because they don't come back. Like, we're not gonna keep following these characters. You know, for me, which was upsetting because I think it's cool. I love the ending shot when all of them are coming together and they're about to go.
That's a really good shot.
Like, I love all that, but it's like, we don't get to see that. You know?
Yeah.
That's kind of a bummer. It does seem like these series of movies has, they planned it out to be a series of movies, but I wonder if there were just some changes made at the last minute or something. Batgirl was supposed to be a part of it. Batwoman and Batwing were going to be, maybe there was another Batman movie that got scrapped or something that was supposed to take place in between this one and Hush. I don't know.
I would have taken Luke out altogether and just focused on Dick and Batwoman.
Yeah, the fact that his name is Batwing and they make a joke like, "Do you want to ride in the Batwing?" It's like,
okay. that was pretty funny.
He's essentially just Iron Man. I mean,
yeah.
Even the whole like him getting suited up is very Iron Man. The music's Iron Man.
Yeah,
and then him trying to stop the watchtower from like hitting the buildings. I mean, that was very
Avengers.
Yeah, exactly.
Straight Avengers.
Yep.
They knew what they were doing.
So yeah, I agree, Stu. I would have taken if you're going to introduce one of the characters, I would have introduced Batwoman and not brought in Batwing. He doesn't really. I mean, he saves the watchtower and stuff, I guess you could say, but Damian helps him with that. But I mean, I feel like the characters we had could have solved that issue. It's not I really don't think Batwing brought that much to the story.
I'm on the scene right now where he's telling Damian that, or no, Damian's telling him like, "I'm more Batman than you ever be," and he stops the car and is like, "Well, I didn't want to be in the shadow. I was trying to get away from this." It's like, I love all that stuff. Like, I just think it's just
wearing the suit is the last thing I want.
I mean, this movie, it's got great moments. It's just a hodgepodge of story.
It's something that if they had their own separate movies, it would work better. Like,
because this is based on like the Damian and Dick stuff is based on like Grant Morrison's run of Batman, which is a great run. Yeah, but it's just they had to water it down so much.
So let's talk about Heretic. I guess he's set up in the beginning to be kind of the main bad guy, and he's very Bane-esque in my opinion,
for sure.
And then there's a reveal with him that he's actually like a Damian clone.
Yeah, that's probably one of my least favorite moments.
That's to me. I remember watching that for the first time, and I saw it coming from a mile away. I was like, "Who else would it be?" Yeah,
they kind of tease it early on when Batman sees him for the first time, and they do like the quick glimpse of the red eye Batman,
right?
What he saw. That he
the
thought
movie.
Damian would become. That's what he saw at first. Like, okay, they hinting something, and then when it was revealed, I rolled my eyes like, come on, this doesn't make any sense. It's Ra's al Ghul, so why should I question it, right? Like,
right.
Or Ra's al Ghul, however you guys want to say it. But I did not like that when I first saw it. Like I said, when I heard the actor's voice, I was like, okay, I know that voice, and it's the same guy who plays Wilson Fisk on the Spider-Man game. They're like, oh yeah, it makes sense. He's done so much other voices. I looked at his IMDb. He's done so much Marvel cartoons, video games, Call of Duty games. Like, he's done so much. It's crazy. His voice is very like robotic and distinct. Man, he has such a presence on screen.
Voice actors tend to have a lot of work in their filmography because it's the time to record is very short. You don't have to actually.
Most of them could do it at their house.
Especially like after the pandemic,
right.
There are no in studio sessions anymore.
You can do multiple projects in one day, kind of type of
thing.
You don't have shooting days and stuff like that, right? Yeah, and he also he's a part of Critical Role, so he's got. I mean, that's like a huge thing. He's making a ton of money just off that. and yet he's also doing all the voice acting too. And actually, I really like that actor, but I didn't really love like how he played Heretic. I guess it just seemed very. I don't know how to describe it. It was like very clean, almost. You know, it was like every line was just said. I don't know. It was. I don't know how to describe it. It's like there wasn't a whole lot of
emotion.
Yeah, I guess. Emotion. I mean, maybe it was very monotone. Maybe that was it. I don't know, but it was. There was something about it that I just didn't love. And so I didn't, again, when he got killed off, didn't care. You know, it wasn't really
I thought that was so stupid too. It's like you guys set this up and then he just dies.
Yeah.
Like immediately.
So
it's like, okay, that was kind of pointless.
Now going back to Justin's point about his voice, I think he's trying to do it a little bit closer to Stuart Allen. With because he's Damien.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how Damien talks for the most part.
I can see that.
So it matches pretty well in my opinion. I'm still not crazy about the character.
Right.
But the way he plays the character doesn't necessarily upset me. I think he played it the way it was supposed to be played.
Yeah.
This movie has some funny lines. I'm thinking about the beginning when Heretic first shows up and Batwoman says, and you get on me about stealing your look because he has like the bat helmet on.
Mm-hmm.
How
do you guys feel about his look?
It's all right.
I'm not crazy.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about
like it's
the sleeveless leather jacket,
like the bat cowl kind of,
like a cowl helmet thing. Like,
I
don't know.
He got like a Jason X Batman mask.
Jason X, for sure. What do you guys think of the other like side villains? Was like Firefly. What was Firefly?
Electrocutioner or something like that.
Electrocutioner.
Onyx.
Is Mad Hatter in this too?
Yeah,
Mad Hatter's in this too. I think the same actor plays both of their voices. If I'm not mistaken. I think he plays Mad Hatter and the Electrocutioner. I think he plays both of them. I was trying to see what he did because his voice sounds familiar as well.
Right. There's a character. I don't know who the character is. He's kind of got like almost like a robotic eye. You know, Heretic is trying to get Lucius Fox to open up the vault, and Lucius Fox is like, what vault? I don't know. And so then they threaten to kill Luke, and so he finally opens the vault. And once they're in the vault, this guy with the robotic eye like presses buttons on his little watch or on his little wrist, whatever thing, and opens up these like containers inside the vault. I'm like, you couldn't. This little magic thing you have couldn't open the vault. I thought that was a little
part now, actually.
Yeah, I'm on they're fighting right now in the vault.
Yeah, that's exactly the scene I'm in.
Yeah, the actor who plays Mad Hatter, he played Scarecrow in The Long Halloween.
Oh, nice.
What else he's played?
I can't wait to do Long Halloween. That's gonna be a
fun.
Great episode.
Are you guys gonna do it as part 1, part 2, or are you guys gonna separate it?
We should probably separate it. That would be a pretty long episode.
Yeah, that's true. I guess if we did do the whole thing, it would be kind of long.
John, did you buy the deluxe edition or you didn't end up buying that?
I did not end up buying it yet.
I want the 4K for that, but I'm waiting on that too, though. I haven't seen it in stores, though. I only seen the Blu-ray.
I bought it, but I bought it on Blu-ray. I didn't buy the 4K.
I want the 4K. I already got part 1, part 2 on Blu-ray, so I don't need
another
Blu-ray copy. So I'll probably just buy the 4K. Yeah. How did you guys feel about Talia being the villain again? Like when the reveal when she
didn't like it.
Shows up. Yeah,
she was already the villain. Like you the villain again. Like
that's
didn't like it.
Like I said, I really like this movie, but those are some of my main problems. And also I think revealing that Bruce Wayne is alive so soon as well. But obviously,
I don't remember them doing that either. I thought that was kind of crazy.
I'm on the scene right now.
Like I said, the pacing is off.
Yeah, I'm on the scene right now where he's he's in a dream state. And I'm like, oh, like you guys kind of killed the vibe. Now it's not a mystery that he's missing. We know he's alive.
Yeah, I remember being a little disappointed by that too. I thought they should have held that off a little longer. Because they could have kept that to be revealed once the Nightwing and Robin show up at that. It's not a nunnery, but the nunnery in disguise, basically.
Yeah.
By the way, I hate that joke. talk about rolling your eyes when he's like,
Yeah.
that makes them nunges. I was
Nunges,
like, oh God.
You think lines like that actually went through and people accepted that?
Right,
It's like,
they're
why
like,
you guys
oh,
rewrite another
man.
joke, you guys? But
I'm pretty sure they was like, that is so terrible. We have to
Gotta
leave
keep
that
it
in.
just so how stupid you sound when you say it.
Sean Mayer's like, do I really have to say this?
Say this, yeah.
Um,
But yeah, I had major problems with this stuff. Like I said, I really do like this movie, but all the villain stuff with the reveal and who's the plan and all this stuff is like I didn't care about this stuff.
yeah,
all.
the
Sounds
plan-
like somebody's score is going down.
Yeah, I was just-
yeah.
Now that I'm talking about it, you might be right.
Yeah.
The whole plan with like hypnotizing everybody and that was kind of weak. With Talia, I didn't mind Talia being the bad guy. I just wished it wasn't. I wish she had just been the bad guy from the beginning. The whole heretic switcheroo type thing.
It
didn't
was
like that.
pointless.
Yeah, exactly.
I got a question. When did this came out 2016, right?
Yeah.
When did The Incredibles 2 come out? That's
A few years
2018.
later.
2018.
Yeah. I
Okay,
think
so this
yeah.
movie did it first. When I saw this thing, I was thinking about Incredibles 2 because they have the whole the summit with showing things and
Hypnotizing.
It had the same thing with the hypnotizing. I'm like, damn, like this feels like the plot for Incredibles 2. But this is before that, so maybe they stole the story from them. But I didn't like all this where she basically wanted to take over the world by hypnotizing the world leaders to
that way they
see the way of
in
the
her
League
control.
of Shadows. Yeah, like I don't know.
It just didn't feel like a League of Shadows type plan.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
They're more in secret. This feel like they're too out in the open.
Right.
Like,
You know what they should have done with that whole like reveal and the heretic thing? Heretic should have killed her.
And then yeah, that would have been interesting.
Yeah, that would have been way better.
I don't know, man. Because I think when you get to the end and you have Batman and you have Damian confronting her, you're supposed to feel that because that's his mother.
Yeah, which I
right.
do appreciate that. Even though she's super
She's
cold
terrible.
in this movie.
She is
awful.
terrible.
She's awful.
It's weird because he's like, he says, Batman says to her, like, you never loved me. She's like, oh, you have no idea. I'm like, no, you don't love anybody.
Yeah.
You don't love anybody. Like, you think you do. You think you think love is what you're doing, but it's not love, man. You're just crazy.
So I like that for Damian's character, kind of having to move on from that and realizing his mom is a horrible person and stuff. And
yeah,
it's good. I think that was good for Damian's character arc, but yeah, it would have actually been more interesting if Heretic had killed her. But I do agree. Then we wouldn't have gotten those scenes unless those scenes happened before Heretic killed her.
Mm-hmm.
But you also you don't get to see Batwoman fighting Talia. I like.
Well, that's true.
Like all that stuff.
Which
unless that could have happened before.
Yeah. I'm on the scene right now. Nightwing is talking to Luke. Basically like, yo, you can't be a part of this, yo. You got to, stand back.
Yo, this is a bit of a nitpick, but what is up with the DC animated universe and them drawing people's hairlines, bro? Like his hairline is
it's like
terrible.
a triangle. It's like a triangle.
Bruh. Whose hair looks like that? Yeah, they barber need to go.
One voice actor I really want to point out, because I assume it's the same one that they've used in other movies, but for whatever reason, he just really stood out to me this time around, was Alfred. Like, I just thought the guy that played Alfred did a fantastic job, and he's got that kind of almost like a gruff voice, which I thought was just something we don't really hear with Alfred very often. I thought it worked really, really well.
I love the scene with him and Damian where he's telling him, I don't have a concussion. He's like, oh yeah, but Master Dick said you had to be under observation. And he's just so stern with Damian. The last thing he says, like, you should be very appreciated, and just close the door. I was getting my couch clean today, and it's probably going to date the podcast, but I was getting my couch clean, and the guy who was cleaning just chuckled at that line. Like, oh, sounds like a parrot. Sounds like a parrot. I like all that stuff. I think Alfred is great in this movie. Like the fact that he steps up and helps with the ending plan. I like all that stuff. You just see him like posting up and like with his guard up.
This Alfred was definitely part of MI6 for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I forgot. Was it? I forgot what movie it was, but they talked about Alfred, and he was like, "Alfred's a badass. You just don't know." Like, I don't know.
It was this movie. Yeah,
it was this one. Okay,
Yeah, it was this one. Yeah.
Batwoman's like, your butler's a part of this. Yeah, and he's like, he's a badass.
Alfred's a badass. You have no idea. I think all this stuff is good. Like the fact that it's funny that like most of these people don the costume and all this stuff, but then like she says, "Oh, I don't want to be a part of your cult." But like at the end of the day, you were part of it, man.
You're a part of it.
You
Exactly.
took the time to make your costume. You couldn't make yourself a bat thing. You could have did something totally different. You chose to be bat something.
Right.
And I love that Batman points that out. I was like, man, I know she's dangerous, but do I take her under my wing or do I take her down? Because she's representing my name at the end of the day. I started this, but yeah, I thought all that stuff was pretty cool.
I really like her suit. Her suit looks awesome.
Yeah. I think my least favorite suit is Nightwing. Batwing. Batwing is my least favorite out of all of them.
Yeah. I never really liked Batwing suit. Even in the comics, it looked
too techy,
generic. It looked really generic.
Kind of agree with Justin said. It just looks more like Iron Man. He just looks more like
Iron
Man.
That's essentially who he. He's. I don't hate it. It's not like the worst thing I've ever seen, but I agree. It's just generic, and it's hard to improve upon the Batman costume, because the Batman costume is just perfect.
Yeah.
And so trying to make like a new version of it just sometimes doesn't work.
Yeah, I love that he kind of put two and two together like most people do. It's like, oh, like it's something connected with Wayne Enterprises and Batman. Like, are you making his tech? It's like, obviously. I can agree with John though when he says there's a lot going on, because that's one of my nitpicks / problem too. There does feel like a lot going on because a lot of characters as well. It's not just Batman. It's the entire Bat family they're introducing in this movie.
Right.
And if they did had a little more time, I think it'll probably be at better pace, but we don't. It's an animated movie. So
this is stupid. But one of the things I thought when watching it, because, Nightwing shows up in a Batman costume. He's in an older version of the Batman costume. He's got the yellow symbol. And I assume he talks to Gordon or somebody, at some point. And I just imagined somebody being like, hey, we're going back to the old.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? Batman probably changes his costume so often that Gordon's like, doesn't even notice anymore.
Yeah. Because, I mean, by this time, when we introduced in this universe, Dick is already Nightwing, so Batman has been Batman for a while now.
Yeah.
So he's probably on his 4th or 5th uniform by now.
Probably more than that.
Well, when that flashback with Kate, he's wearing, it's similar, but it's like it's got a different bat symbol across the chest than what he wears like at the end of the movie or whatever. So that is, just that right there shows you he changes his costume up. I mean, it kind of feels like that's probably kind of not to compare it to Iron Man yet again, but you know how Iron Man was always he had like Mark like 65 because he just kept making upgrades. It's probably something very similar. He just keeps upgrading his suit and making changes.
That's one thing I wish that they would kind of do in live action. Like they kind of do it in the Dark Knight universe,
right?
I want to see Batman in different suits because as his career progresses, the threats get bigger and more dangerous.
But he also knows what's vulnerable before, so he has to improve those vulnerabilities, like he does in the Dark Knight. Like the one thing he said, is, I can't turn my head. I need to be able to turn my head to catch people.
Right. And, Lucius said, you can turn your head now, but you're more susceptible to, gunfire and knives. Yeah.
Yep. You limit, you lose something by gaining something.
And I think they kind of explain this like after the fact when in the Arkham games, because I know a lot of people were asking like why is his first suit so advanced and so armored in Arkham Origins, where he has a more traditional suit in Arkham City, and they were saying that because he was just starting out, he needs more armor. He didn't know how to be. He hadn't perfected his stealth skills yet,
right?
So he needed to have more armor, and that as his, because
that suit is like bulkier than the other suits.
It's very bulky. But as his career progressed, he learned how to just get out of the way.
Be stealthy.
Right.
Be more stealthy.
Use
Be more
smoke.
stealthy as well. Yeah, use powder. Use smoke. Right, smoke grenades.
He used smoke.
Yeah, I ain't gonna. I loved all the stuff that with like Dick Grayson is being Batman, but everyone automatically calls out that you're playing dress up, man. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
like Damien immediately calls him out, like you're
You
not.
think that's
Batman.
gonna fool anybody?
Yeah.
Right.
The line he says, "How about you have a microphone to announce that?" You know, a microphone to announce that.
But I mean, a Batwoman does say like, yeah, you're not gonna fool nobody close to you, but you know, as far as just regular villains, it's you close enough.
Yeah. And the point was to kind of make people think that Batman was back,
right?
Strike fear in the criminals' hearts and stuff. Which is why, I like that, he's driving the Batmobile around because he wants to be seen.
Yeah.
And Kate obviously sees it and her dad sees it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, I like that. I really do. That's probably my favorite element of the movie is Nightwing pretending to be Batman.
Yeah.
I think that's it's just a cool element of the movie. I think it's just fun.
I'm on the worst part of the movie now.
The reveal of who Heretic is. Yeah, that's exactly
it's like I did not like all this. And it's the fact that he wants to have an emotional connection to Talia is like, bruh, you wasting time. She doesn't care about none of that stuff at all. Nope. I love how when she takes him out, his right hand is immediately or like it just in like ready to take her out. I didn't really enjoy any of this stuff. I was like, oh, really? Okay, this is how we're going in this movie.
It's obvious. It's not to me. It's not a reveal. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah. Who plays Talia again?
Morena Baccarin.
Morena Baccarin.
Yeah, from Firefly or
Nice.
Gotham as well. She was on Gotham.
She's in Deadpool.
Mm-hmm.
But she'll probably be back for Deadpool 3.
I'm sure she will.
That's gonna make me mad.
Why?
That she's back for Deadpool 3?
She did.
Oh, is she?
When Cable is involved, it doesn't matter. They can go into the past. That's all they have to do.
I don't remember. That's true. I do remember.
What's the point of killing her? Just, you know what I'm saying?
It's Deadpool. We don't have to care. He's already breaking the fourth wall on things that don't matter. So it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, Yeah,
they are bringing Logan back.
Yeah.
After having a perfect ending.
Yeah, see?
I'm still not crazy about I'm excited to see.
Well, you guys just assume that this takes place before Logan.
Yeah, that could be it too.
No, they'll probably go back. They'll probably do some time jumping.
That could be, and I wouldn't be surprised if they reference Logan. But I could see this being, as much sense as you can make out of the X-Men timeline.
Mm-hmm.
I could see because he's an older guy. I could see them playing a younger Logan in Deadpool 3 than he is in Logan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So like in between Days of Future Past and Logan.
Yeah.
But I was listening to Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum and Morena Baccarin was the guest, and she said that she doesn't know if she's gonna be in Deadpool 3 yet because they still trying to work stuff out.
Probably or something.
Yeah, but she does know that the movie is gonna be more about Logan than Wade.
Right.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So it's going to be more of a Wolverine movie with Deadpool in it.
Right.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, I guess when you got Hugh Jackman.
Right.
Right.
You
huge Jack man.
Right. You just I like that. I like that idea though. Just I can imagine that phone call, right? Like Hugh Jackman calls up Ryan Reynolds. He's like, "Hey, I was thinking maybe Wolverine could be in Deadpool 3." And Ryan Reynolds is like, "That's awesome." And he's like, "And it'll basically be my movie. And you'll just be in it."
What do you say? Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Let's do it.
That's fine with me. I'm fine with
that.
At this point, I just want like after Deadpool 3, don't make any more Deadpool movies. Just have him show up and just be, just commentate on what is going on in the MCU. I would love that.
I think
like just make him the new cameo. That would be great. That would be great. He doesn't even have to be Deadpool in all of them. Some he could just be the ugly avocado Wade in some of his
right.
his cameos.
That's funny. I like that idea. That's a good idea.
Yeah. And then obviously in the team up movies he'll be Deadpool, but
yeah. I think especially if they introduce Cable, I think that's the way they can bring him into the MCU instead of him being part of Fox. I ain't gonna lie, I do like this scene with them going to rescue Bruce. I like all this stuff. I think it's dope.
I do too. And this is where I think they should have revealed that Bruce was alive rather than doing it a little earlier than like they did.
Mm-hmm.
And I do like that we don't know yet that he's under mind control. Although there is, I feel like, a couple of hints. Like he's standing there, he's like exhausted. He's not himself. His shoulders are hunched over. And Batwing says, I'm glad to be a part of your team. And he immediately stands up straight and he's like, we don't need your help. And it's just, I always thought that was a little weird. But then, once you kind of realize he's under mind control, I feel like it was partly that. Like that does seem like a Bruce thing to do.
Yeah.
But because he was so
I don't know.
out of it, it was just awkward how he did it suddenly.
I don't know.
I agree.
I don't know. It feels like that's something Bruce what he would exactly do. Is like, no, we don't want to add no more people to this.
Sure.
But I can also see why you would think that too. Because even in these ones right here where Damian is trying to get him up.
Yeah, he's
slapping him and he doesn't even let him get the third slap in, But I think the mind control for Bruce it's an interesting idea because he's so strong, he's so skilled, he's so good at what he does. So to go against him when he's under mind control is a hard thing to do. I love the fight between Nightwing and Batman at the end of the movie. Because at the end of the day, he gets beaten. At the end of the day, he has to talk to him instead of fight him to get through to him. Which is funny because usually it's Batman talking to Nightwing, it's the other way around.
Yeah, actually, I love that scene too. I thought that was really good. And I feel bad for Nightwing because in the last movie, Nightwing got stabbed through like both arms and legs by Talon. And then this one, he gets his arm broken by Bruce.
Broken. Like, you see him literally limp with one arm trying to fight. Like he's like a zombie lunched over trying to fight. He's
holding his own though against Batman with one arm, which is pretty cool.
For sure.
Oh, this scene is so hilarious. I don't know what villain is this, but he just like randomly started doing flips and stuff, and then he gets a thing dropped on him. It's like the Indiana Jones thing, where it's like they're doing so much, and it's like I only gotta do anything. I'm just standing here. You can go ahead and do all your flips, and then you're gonna get smashed. It's pretty hilarious. I did laugh at that when I first saw it. That's pretty funny.
I like too that he didn't have like a one-liner after that or anything. He just turns around. And he's like, "All right,
that's something Batman would do." Like Batman would just be okay. That's done. Another shot I love. Batwoman is fighting. I can't think of Heretic's right hand, but they're fighting, and she falls over and she goes like hovers above the moonlight and stuff.
Yes, that was a good shot.
Yeah, this movie got some great shots. I could definitely.
It does, yeah,
for sure.
I think Jay Oliva does a good job directing these movies. It's just, like you said, there's just some issues with them. I think I'm starting to see a few more of the problems that Stu has with the movie.
Yeah. All right, who is this other guy, this other bug guy that's not Firefly?
That's a great question. I was just looking at it because I knew that guy, but I don't know who the other
Firefly 2.0? Right. Yeah, I don't know.
Lightning Bug.
Yeah. Did you guys notice when it's later on it's probably a few scenes from now. Probably I think it's when it's talking about the summit. There's a news. Oh, I think it's when Kate's watching the news when her dad shows up with the groceries.
Mm-hmm.
The channel is News 52, which I thought was kind of cool, like New 52.
Nice.
Thought that was clever.
Yeah, that's right before the dad goes crazy and just start trying to kill his daughter.
Yeah, which I like that too. Like she turns the TV off and sees the reflection of him pointing the gun. She's like, Dad. I like that as well. But I don't love the whole mind control aspect. It just seems kind of silly to me.
I feel like it's been played out. That's such a kind of a typical trope to do is mind control somebody. Like even right here, Bruce seemed like he's himself in this moment right here.
But I was gonna say, going back to Justin's point, when he just stands up straight and says, we don't need your help, he does seem robotic.
There's an obvious change in his demeanor.
Yeah. So I think yes, that is something Bruce would say, but the way he said it is not it's off.
Yeah.
There's something off about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he seems himself in this scene. Like, I believe everything in this scene is Bruce.
Yeah.
You know, him being like saying he's fine and then even telling Nightwing, like, you're not Batman anymore, you know? And so, like, that all seems real to me.
I call the shots. I call the shots. I love how they made Damian have basically the same haircut as Bruce to say, oh yeah, this is his son. That's how you know. They have the same haircut. They have the same haircut. Now they look just alike when they were kids. Yeah, News 52. That's hilarious. I just saw it on screen. That's actually pretty cool. That's actually a nice little nod right there. I like that. Yeah, I think I really like Nightwing in this movie. To me, I think he's the best character.
He's the best character.
Yeah, for sure.
I would say followed by Batwoman.
Yeah.
I love the scene when we get introduced to Nightwing. He's talking to who we find out who is his girl in the next movie. He's like talking to her and trying to get basically he's about to go see her, and then Alfred just calls like, Alfred, you suck. Suck with the time. I was about to give me some. I was like, dang, I gotta go do something. Goodness.
My one nitpick with that is he's obviously talking to Corey because he calls her Corey, and he says he's coming to the tower, but he's also like keeping it from her that he's being Nightwing and fighting crime. And I was like, she knows you're Nightwing. Yeah. Like, that didn't make sense to me unless he had made her some promise saying like he wasn't going to be Nightwing tonight. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. He probably wasn't supposed to be Nightwing at that particular time.
Yeah. Right.
He says, is traffic stopping him? And he's literally fighting somebody. Construction in the background. Like, okay, you're technically lying. But I like all that stuff. I think, like I said, Nightwing is definitely the scene stealer throughout this whole entire movie, for sure. Yeah.
But how do you guys feel about the music in the movie? Did you notice it?
Yeah, I love the score.
Yeah, I like the music. The music is pretty consistent with this universe.
Yeah. This is another Frederick Weidman score who did, I'm pretty sure he did Batman versus Robin. He did Son of Batman. He did Flashpoint Paradox.
Nice.
He does the next movie. He does Justice League versus Teen Titans. So yeah, he's pretty good composer, it seems like.
Yeah. Very, very Batman-esque score for this movie, for sure.
Yeah.
Thinking about the ending score for the last shot of the movie. It stands out for me. It got me hype. It gave me goosebumps at the end of it. I'm like, oh yeah, this feels like Batman for sure.
Not to jump too far ahead because I know we haven't watched the movie yet, but like Justice League versus Teen Titans does what this movie does with the new characters, but it kind of gives them the same through line, the same story. And I think
it's a little more cohesive.
Yeah, it's a lot more cohesive than this.
Probably is the writing too. The writing is probably better. Mm-hmm. The writing is better in Justice League versus Teen Titans.
Yeah, handling a lot of characters, especially when they're the heroes of the movie. Like it's hard to do.
Sure. Yeah.
Especially when you're introducing them for the first time in that particular movie. Stuff like Justice League and Avengers that has the benefit of having movies that precede it to set up those characters. So when you're introducing and setting up multiple characters at the same time, that's a very difficult thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when it's not a Justice League or like an Avengers movie, like this is a Batman movie. That's the thing. Like it's a standalone,
Yeah. And the thing is, like, the stakes are so high in this movie. Like the movie starts out with Batman dying,
right?
That this should have been
a Justice League thing.
Justice
League should have stepped in. Batman is dead. Why is
where's Superman? Exactly.
Where's Wonder Woman cause, dude?
Like when Superman died, everybody was
But it's not saying, like I said, not trying to compare Superman to Batman, but it's Superman. Like not saying Batman is not a contribute to the team, but it's Superman. I can see why that, but
it also would have been nice though to see like a scene where Superman shows up or something and is told by Nightwing and Damian or something like, this is Gotham, we've got it, or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
It would have been kind of nice to see the League somewhat involved and concerned that Batman
Yeah.
is
It's
potentially dead.
It's almost as if nobody knows Batman is dead, but the people of
Bat team,
Gotham.
yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
It, like, news doesn't get outside Gotham for some reason.
Yeah.
Even though Clark works for the Daily Planet and for sure
Yeah.
would have heard that news.
Because how long they say he was gone for like 2 weeks? He was gone for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It
And
wasn't that
even-
long.
Even Alfred does the thing where he mimics Bruce like he's in a different
Right, which
country.
I thought was cool. I like that too.
So and
Yeah.
maybe that's the thing too, is like they maybe heard that Bruce Wayne is actually alive, so they okay, maybe Batman really isn't dead. Maybe he's taking a break.
Yeah, you're right.
That could be, yeah. And I could also see the League being like, he's disappeared before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like there have to be a reason why.
because
he
Batman is a part-time member, so
Right.
Yeah, yeah. I was
Batman
seeing
just
a-
does what he wants to do.
Yeah,
They don't
yeah.
really- they
I was,
can't
I was
do
watching,
anything about.
a clip on Facebook about Superman confronting Batman about he has plans to take out every single member of the Justice League, and I just love that he does that. And he's like, "So what do you have for you when you go back? If you go rogue?" He's like, "Don't worry, I got
Justice
that
League.
covered. Yeah, I got that covered." He's like, "What? Oh yeah, it's called you guys." Yeah, I loved all that stuff.
That was they turned that into an animated movie, Justice League Doom.
Yeah,
which we haven't
I'm
done yet.
very
We gotta
much
do that
looking
one.
forward to doing
Yeah, we
that
gotta
one.
do
That's
that
one of
one
my
too.
favorites.
I need to buy that. I don't own that.
That's a good one.
I can find that for cheap. I love this shot where they're hovering into the flying like building thing. I love all
Mhm.
that stuff. It's just dope.
How do you feel about, because I assume this is technically what I assume turns into Watchtower, right? Like in
Yes.
space with,
Yeah.
the League. So how do you feel about that being introduced by Bruce Wayne to
I
the
love
public?
that idea.
Do you?
It makes
Yeah.
sense. It makes
I
sense to
don't
me.
like it in this movie per
Right.
se, but I love the idea of the Watchtower being a Bruce Wayne thing that becomes a Justice League thing, kind of like Avengers. The
Yeah, like-
Stark
yeah.
Tower becomes Avengers
Avengers.
Tower.
Right. Yeah. That's true.
for sure. Yeah,
It's just nobody. I mean, like, I guess you did in this universe, he'd have to be like, I donated it to the League because nobody knows that. I mean, everybody in the Avengers universe knows that Tony Stark is Iron Man.
right.
Nobody knows Bruce Wayne is Batman.
Mhm.
So, that's the only thing that kind of makes me kind of go about it. But I do like that it's a Bruce Wayne, a Wayne Foundation or Wayne and Enterprises thing. But
Mm-hmm.
how do you guys feel about Mad Hatter getting his head blown off?
I thought it was hilarious.
I thought it was funny too.
It makes sense. It makes
Yeah,
sense.
Mad Hatter's not like a big enough villain for me to care that they killed him off in a movie.
Yeah.
And so to see his head just kind of explode like that was actually pretty cool.
I feel like I know they did. I feel like like I said, the actor who plays Mad Hatter, I knew I recognized his voice when I heard that. Like I heard his voice in something else. I feel like I knew he played another Batman villain in some other form.
Mhm.
Like he has a very distinctive voice that sounds so recognizable.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I love the way the combat is in these movies. I love how brutal they feel. Like you really feel the punches.
I do like the
That's
combat.
dope.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the combat in the DC animated movies, they use real like
Fights.
other fight sequences from other movies as references.
Yeah.
There was in Shazam Superman Return of Black Adam, that fight between Superman and Black Adam is from Undisputed.
Right.
One of the Undisputed movies.
That kept showing up on my Instagram like every few days. It seemed like somebody was
Yeah.
reposting that, but it was, I mean, hey, it worked.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love it. I like I said, I love that you could tell the different fighting style between Nightwing and Batman. When Nightwing was Batman, you can tell that it was Dick. By the way,
Right.
He was doing too many jumps and flips and stuff. Like
Yeah,
Batman
he
does
was
that,
very
but
acrobatic.
not as much as you think he would. Like,
It's a nice detail. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
So one of my last nitpicks about this movie is, towards the end of the film when Talia seems kind of cornered by everybody.
Yeah.
She ends up jumping out of Watchtower, and it looks like she's going to commit suicide, right?
Yeah. She even says it. She's like, we'll be together in death. It's like, okay,
right,
she's
yeah.
gonna jump off the building.
Nobody moves. Batwing can fly.
Yeah.
Why doesn't he jump? Like, he just doesn't. He just stands there. I didn't understand that at all. And obviously she doesn't die. She ends up getting caught by that like autopilot, whatever. But then you find out that Heretic's like one of Heretic's
minions
goons
or
whatever.
Yeah.
Onyx is on that ship and crashes it. So there's the kind of the question: is she still alive?
Right.
It's kind of vague, but which I like, but yeah, I thought that was. I just remember thinking, Batwing, what are you doing? Like, just don't just stand there. Plus, like most of Batman and all these characters have gadgets that would allow them to
catch her.
In
all of them
form.
have grappling guns.
Yeah, exactly.
Every single one have a grappling gun. It's like, okay,
they all just stood there.
Yeah. I get my thought was I thought they intentionally thought that she was gonna kill herself. It's like, okay, just let her kill herself.
They're like, well, this problem solves that. I guess.
But I guess I don't really care about Tyler's motivations, but I loved all the combat and what the people are going through in these moments. You can see Alfred being a badass and just they see drop kicking somebody, straight spin kick somebody. Like I said, that whole idea of Batman being hypnotized it's insane at the end of the day.
Yeah,
because whoever really has the power to take him down, like even someone that's like powerful as Superman will still have trouble taking down a mind control Batman. Because at that point he doesn't have his morals. It takes Nightwing talking to him to talk to him about his morals. That, bro, you don't kill, you don't do all this stuff that she's trying to get you to do. And all that.
And I like that he's struggling with it. He's got the gun pointed at Damian, then eventually he turns it to himself.
Yeah,
I think he's like, I can't overcome this, so he was just gonna kill himself. But then Nightwing still is able to kind of get to him, which I liked a lot.
Seeing Batman hold a gun like that on frame is crazy to see that. The fact when the movie opens and they tease you with is Batwoman taking out the guys and they see guns being fired. She's like, hold on, Batman doesn't use guns. It's like, no, it's Batwoman.
It's like in The Dark Knight, when the copycats show up and Scarecrow's like, that's not him.
That's not him.
Yeah.
That's more like it.
I need to rewatch Dark Knight. It's been a while, so I've been saving it up. I need to watch the trilogy.
I just watched Batman Begins last week.
Did you really?
Yeah. Need to watch it on 4K.
I just finally got Batman Begins on 4K, so I need to watch it on 4K.
Oh, you haven't watched it yet?
Looks good.
Not on 4K.
Oh, it's good.
Looks good.
It's a very good upgrade.
Nice.
I think the Dark Knight Rises looked the best out of all three, in my opinion. But yeah. Batman Begins.
I really should just rewatch the trilogy. I don't know when I'll ever be able to. My kid will just not let me sit down and watch a movie, but I would love to just sit down and watch all three again. That would be amazing.
This scene's very cliche too. That she gets away, but then the ship crashes. This feels very cliche. But then it doesn't. You don't know whether or not she lives or not.
Right, which I like. I like that part. I like that that's ambiguous, but I don't like the whole her falling and getting caught by the ship. I don't know what you call this thing.
Does she show up again?
Shuttlecraft.
Does she show up again? I don't think so. I don't remember that because I'm trying to think of the next movie is Batman Hush. Yeah,
I don't think she's in it. Yeah,
no, she doesn't show up after that. So maybe she does die.
Yeah, maybe she did
because she wouldn't show up in Apocalypse War.
And I don't think she's in like Death of Superman or anything like that. So yeah, I don't think so.
Bro, that cut is so quick. Like the ship blows up and then like they cut immediately to like probably the next day.
Yeah, it is the next
with
day.
Kane. Yeah, it's like,
the next day.
Yeah, with KK, it's like
they didn't even give us time to sit there and show what happened. Like, and even we don't even, like I said, we don't even get we see the scene of Damian talking to Bruce about Talia being gone, but we don't even get to feel that moment.
Yeah.
Most of the stuff is like it feels like all montage stuff.
I've noticed that recently a lot of the DC animated movies that have been coming out recently are closer to 90 minutes in time. Whereas a lot of these and like especially the earlier films,
they're 74 minutes.
Like Superman, Batman, or Public Enemies is only like 67 minutes. I wondered if there was some studio rule or something that these movies had to be under 80 minutes for some reason. I don't, I don't know why they would do that, but especially since it's, direct to DVD. And so who cares? But there's so many of them are like 74 or 75 minutes. And now, and only recently, it seems like with the last few years, they've started having these longer, closer to actual 90-minute, feature length runtimes. I mean, I don't think this is not a feature length movie, but it's just they all, for whatever reason, all of these movies around this time period were 75 minutes, and so
yeah, I think anything over 40 minutes is considered feature length.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. But I'm just curious. It's interesting to me. I just wonder if there was some sort of studio note that these movies had to be an hour and 15 because maybe they thought nobody would watch an hour and a half or something. I don't know. It's just weird.
I love that shot where they're all standing on the corner of the building and all jump
this is
at
great.
a time. I think that's just an awesome shot.
Yeah.
Like Batman's and the leader. Go ahead, guys. And this the scene that does piss me off too. Seeing Batgirl shows up and it's just it's not even paid off. Like, good.
It is a bummer. I do really wish. Yeah.
Like I would love to see that dynamic between Gordon and Batman. I love we get to see that in other iterations of other medias, but not in this animated universe. We don't even get to see that, which I love the story. I love the storyline of, Barbara Gordon becoming Batgirl.
I really like how they handle it in the Batman, the animated series
show.
Yeah. Because in that one, she was his first sidekick and not Robin. And
interesting.
I really like that idea.
That's pretty cool.
Because she was inspired by Batman, and she's already of that investigative mindset, being the commissioner's daughter, or at that point he wasn't a commissioner, he was Lieutenant Gordon.
Right.
Well, all right. The credits are rolling. We basically did a watch along.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'd love to know what you guys would rate this film. Who wants to go first?
Alex, you can go first.
All right.
I think it did go a little bit down. I think I got to change it to a 3.5. I had it at a 4, but I think sitting here talking to you guys and noticing the pacing issues, and I said I did not enjoy the whole reveal of Heretic and like Talia coming back as the villain. I didn't enjoy all the stuff. I loved all the stuff with the Bat family. I loved all the stuff with Nightwing being Batman and basically bonding with Damian throughout this entire movie. I loved all that stuff. I wasn't big on Batwing. I think he's probably like my least favorite out of the Bat family. I loved all the stuff. Well, I didn't love it, but I liked all the stuff with Batwoman. And yeah, I got to give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Nice, solid score. I think I like it.
Yep.
Stu, you want me to go, or you got a score ready to go?
I do have a score ready to go.
I just checked your letterbox score too as well.
I did. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
I think it's like a 2.5. I think.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, 2.5.
That's what you're gonna get.
Yeah, this movie is it's as mid as it gets. It's I'm not really crazy about it. The pacing is off. Too many characters. Too much backstory for the type of story that they're trying to tell. It has some good moments. The music is great as always. The fight scenes are phenomenal. I'm not as crazy.
Great.
Yeah, the animation is great. I'm not as crazy. I'm not as crazy about the third act as you guys are, but it's still a pretty good third act. But it's just not enough in this movie to get me to like really enjoy it.
Sure, I can understand that. I think I'm in between you guys. So my original score was 3.5, but after talking with you guys about it and kind of pointing out some of the flaws with it and stuff, I think I have to go with 3. So I'm giving it a 3 out of 5. I think I like it more than you, Stu, for sure, because I don't have an issue as much with the pacing. I actually fell asleep watching it last night, and so I had to rewatch it part of it today, and I started a little farther back than than I needed to, and it's because I didn't really mind rewatching it. So, yeah, I think it's not necessarily a movie I could pop in all the time and rewatch, but I just really like the whole Bat family aspect of it, and seeing Nightwing take the Batman mantle even for a short period of time is just fun for me. And so yeah, I think it's probably, if we were to rank the DC New 52 movies, it'd probably be somewhere in the middle, but yeah, it's for me it's still an enjoyable watch, I think. So even with its flaws. So I give it 3 out of 5.
It was just going back to what you said about the Bat family thing. I think that's another thing I didn't really like about it, is that yes, it's the Bat family, but 3 of my favorite members of the Bat family are not in this movie. Jason, Tim, and Barbara.
Yeah. It's weird because I'm like, okay, we have Damian and we have Dick, but where's all the middle Robins?
Right, where's Tim? Where's Tim? Exactly. Yeah.
Like where's Jacob? Like where's all these other Robins? It's like it's only been those 2 in this universe, but
I think so. Yeah, I think it's only been those 2 in this particular universe.
Yeah, I don't know if Jason or Tim technically in this animated universe, I don't know if they technically exist or not.
Right.
What did Tim in the comics, what did Tim end up being? Did he become Red Robin?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Because I was Dick became Nightwing, but I wasn't sure what Tim ended up becoming.
Yeah, Tim.
And then of course Red Hood is part of the Bat family now, I guess, right?
Right.
So
he leads his own team. He leads the
Outsiders or Outlaws. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Batman under Red Hood, another great Batman animated movie.
Yeah, which we haven't talked about that one either yet, I don't think so. We have lots of animated movies to still talk about.
We got a lot of good ones to get through. A lot of good ones. That's the thing I like about these movies. Is like there are way more good ones than bad ones.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Yes.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
We haven't discussed any of the Marvel animated ones, and part of that is because they're not streaming anywhere.
Yeah. Right.
But I looked up the Rotten Tomato score for all of them, and they're all bad.
Yeah, they're not great.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to doing those, but we do probably need to mix it up and do a Marvel one eventually.
Yeah. DC blows them out of the water with the animated stuff for sure.
The ones that I don't particularly hate are Hulk versus.
Yeah. Planet Hulk's not bad.
Yeah, Planet Hulk.
I have that one.
And I like those 3D ones on Netflix with Iron Man team ups.
Oh, cool! I haven't watched those.
Yeah, Iron Man and Captain America, Iron Man and Hulk. I think I prefer Iron Man Captain America over Iron Man and Hulk.
The only other one I've seen is Ultimate Avengers, the first Ultimate Avengers, and I remember thinking that one was okay, but I haven't seen any of the other ones
too. I think that came out before Avengers, right?
Yes,
but I hadn't seen it until after Avengers, and I was watching. I was like, "Oh, this is just Avengers 2012."
That's funny.
But yeah, DC definitely blows them out of the water with the animated stuff for sure.
Absolutely, it's Marvel's got the live action stuff down, but DC for the longest time has had the animated stuff.
And
Marvel kind of gave up on the animated stuff. I mean, I guess they do still have those 3D ones you were talking about to do on Netflix, but for the most part, they're not putting them out like DC puts them out.
No.
Nah. They Marvel focuses more on series than shows and movies because it's a lot of Spider-Man animated series.
Right? Yeah. Just put out another Spider-Man cartoon.
Yeah,
it'll be fine. Well, we'd love to know what you think about Batman Bad Blood. You can always let us know at cinemaheroes.com. You can also leave us a comment on our Instagram or tweet at us. Both handles are at cinemaheroes. You can also leave a comment on this video if you're watching this on YouTube. And if you are watching it on YouTube, leave this or like this video. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. But I think that about wraps it up for this episode. I'm Justin Speck.
I'm Jay Stu.
I'm Alex Thomas.
As always, thanks for listening. Thanks for subscribing.